My name is Mohammad Zakariya, and I'm a calligrapher, always having an interest in art. My father was an artist, and I used to sneak in and read his books and look at his pictures and stuff like that, even when I was 4 or 5 years old. Ended up working in a small factory which produced for rockets and missiles and stuff like that. I rose to a certain level in this business, and then I saw there was no possibility to rise any higher. This is a point I was traveling. I would go to Morocco. I went to Morocco for a holiday and stuff like that, and I got interested in the Arabic language, and I got interested in Islam, the religion, and stuff like that. What happened with me was one day, I was 19, I was walking down the street in Los Angeles on Wilshire Boulevard, and there was this Armenian guy had a rug store. And there was something on his wall. It was kind of a golden panel of some kind of beautiful piece, you know. I knew it was some kind of Arabic writing, and so I said to the boss, I said, "What's that?" He said in his accent, he said, "That's some kind of Muslim writing, kid. You can't afford it. Get out of my store. Take a walk." Well, I want to learn how to do that, and I'm going to do it myself. If I can't buy some, I'll do it myself. I went to Morocco in 1964 and stayed in Europe and Morocco for 2 years. I studied in Morocco on my own, meeting people, asking a lot of questions. A person over there told me the secret for learning is to stay quiet, keep your ears open, and watch. Listen, watch. Don't say anything. Don't ask. Don't do anything. After a while, he says, after you've been around for a while, then you ask. I was able to live in London and study my calligraphy at the British Museum, which was a wonderful experience. And I got a pass and a card, and then I was doing stage work, comedy work. I was a comedian. I realized that working on the English stage, doing jokes was not going to make me a living. You just couldn't survive that way. And doing musical things and stuff still wasn't going to survive. So one thing led to another, and I ended up returning to Los Angeles. I began to do calligraphy and make pieces that I showed to people, and people said, "What are you doing that for? You're never going to be any good." All these very discouraging things. You got helpful people, and then you got people who are not helpful. And so I don't remember the people who were not helpful anymore, but I remember all those ones who were, People began to ask me for calligraphy, and so I would do their letterheads and office stuff, and then I began to work on, show them that I could do stuff with gold, and people began to buy things. I began to do calligraphy professionally. I try to teach every calligrapher student how to be a carpenter or a carver. And you have to know a little bit about this stuff. Although the material of this pen is called reed, it's a form of grass. And grass, in essence, behaves like wood. It has a grain and a direction, and there's directions you can cut and directions you can't cut. And in my case, I do everything myself from beginning to end. I should prepare my papers. I prepare my paints, my pigments, my golds, and stuff like that. Many of the tools that I use, I make them. And I like to have a finished artwork in that case, all finished, and my own signature work, because that's what the customers demand. And frankly, I like to be in control of my work from beginning to end. This is a piece that I'm working on presently, and I wrote it yesterday, and now I have to go over it and check it. Now, in the process of doing that, I found a huge mistake, and I'm going to work up to that, and I'll show you where it is, and I'm going to make an attempt to get rid of it. But I don't think I can get rid of it totally at this point. But we'll start to take the little blobs of ink that stick on. In this script, Talik, Jelly Talik, we're looking for an effect that contains tension and relaxation, much like we would find in aspects of the human body. There's tension, relaxation, energy, repose. There's stillness, there's action, there's all these things that we like to try to find and locate within the line structure. That's a little bit about how we can take a piece and work on it in order to make it a complete piece. In other words, something that is not just haphazard or impressionistic, but something that is calculated to achieve a certain effect.